Yeah,
South Point.
We're on the road. $25 tickets tonight, $35 as well. World Championship Boxing, Shumenov and Santiago. And Don Chargin is a longtime promoter, working the card, joining Steve and Dave. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Fired up for tonight?
Oh, I am. That Beibut Shumenov has showed me, I mean, he's very green with 12 fights, but each time I've seen him in the last several months, he's improving. And I think really within the next 6 months, he's going to be a force to really be reckoned with. I've never seen the dedication. I've never seen anybody work with all the fighters that I've been around. I've never seen anybody work as hard as this kid. And what a background. 27 years old, was on the Olympic team. He's a lawyer. There's nothing. And the most well-conditioned athlete I think I've ever seen.
You know, we're starting to see more and more of these Eastern European guys really become a force in boxing. There was a smattering coming out of the 04 Olympics. We saw some pretty good young guys, but now we're really starting to see some stars come out of there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for how many years we used to make fun here in America of the English fighters. Now the English fighters, they're no more safety first type fighters, for the most part, but they're in there, they're slugging, everything is good with them. German, Polish, there's getting to be good Polish for a zillion fighters from Russia and the Ukraine. It's really now a worldwide sport.
What about here, though? Are we producing enough American-born fighters to keep the sport vibrant in this country down the road, especially with the emergence of mixed martial arts, which is going to divide the fight pool somewhat in this country?
Right, it will, but more than martial arts, I think it's the other sports that are taking. The one thing where we're suffering, the heavyweights.
Oh, boy.
And as you know from being around it, as a heavyweight goes, boxing goes. I mean, every once in a while, you'll get that breakout fighter like when Oscar De La Hoya was going good and fight that will draw, and maybe you'll forget the heavyweights for a while, but it's always right back there. And I mean, look, with the Klitschkos here in America, they bore us, it seems like. Yeah. In Germany, 50,000 people, 55,000 people.
Can't get a ticket.
It's amazing.
Yep. Don Chargin's with us. He's an International Boxing Hall of Famer. 60 years now in the business.
60 years, right. September 2nd, I have a show in Northern California, and Labor Day 1951, I had my first promotion. I call that my first one because that was the first time I used my own money.
Well, that would do it. So
how do you, real quick, how do you think boxing promoting has changed over the years? Because clearly it's changed, and I don't think for the better.
Well, it used to be more one-on-one contact. I mean, I can remember putting fights on when at midnight my wife and I were out tacking posters on poles and that. I mean, when you got a fight, when you would announce a fight, the first thing that people would ask you, where's the posters? Now people don't know what posters are. But there was more of that. I mean, now the internet, the this, the that, all those things, you're reaching more people. And if you could remember, local fights used to be the big thing. Yeah. You got a guy from this neighborhood fighting one from that neighborhood. I mean, this was a real rivalry. I know in San Francisco when we used to have it, the Excelsior District would fight this. I remember years ago, Tony Bosnich was and he fought Pat Valentino, that fought Ezra Charles for the title. Well, that was a huge fight.
Oh, we used to get, you could go to the undercard fights at the Forum, and you'd have a South Central kid against an East LA kid. And nationally, nobody knew who they were. Yeah. But they'd have a big crowd down there because the neighborhoods would show up to root on their guy, and it was pretty exciting.
That was it. I was at the Olympic Auditorium in LA for 20 years. We were 20 years with the local TV show, and that was it. East LA, it was fantastic. ticket sellers. They were all ticket sellers.
Who was, all right, so 60 years of doing this. Give me one guy who you just loved working with, a fighter that you just thought the world of. Doesn't have to be a guy who made it all the way to the top either.
I'll tell you one. You won't even remember him. He ended up winning a world title. His name was Loreto Garza. In the late 80s,
I remember him, sure.
He won the world title. I remember going up to him, and he was about the 5th choice to go over to France and fight the champion. We had 6 days, and I didn't figure he'd be ready. I called up, said, Loreto, I know what your answer is going to be, but I got a title fight for you in 6 days. We got to leave right away for France. Now, do you want me to turn it down? And he said, Don, never turn down a title fight if it's a day before. He went over and won the fight and won the world title. But the reason we liked him, my wife and I, when we first started developing him, after every one of his fights, he used to come and he was genuinely worried that we made money. He didn't want us to lose money when we were promoting him. And believe me, that's the only one that was like that.
I believe that. A reminder that tonight it is Fire and Fury World Championship Boxing right here at the South Point. You get a World Championship bout, and this is 2 divisions too, so it's a unification bout. World Champion Shumenov, Danny Santiago. Tickets start at $25, which is not a bad price. And you can buy them at the box office, or if you want to go online right now, go to southpointeventcenter.com, or you can call 797-8055. Doors open at 5:30. It's a full card, so the first bout's at 6 o'clock, and TV's starting at 8:30. Should be fun.
It's going to be a terrific show.
All right, good deal. We appreciate a couple minutes. Make sure folks come on down here. We got VIP tickets we're going to give out around 4:30, but we'll have a trivia question at that time. Hey, one last thing I wanted to ask you. We also talk a lot of mixed martial arts, and I noticed that you were open to it to a certain point. You were getting involved with Nick Diaz, which I found pretty interesting, but I also thought, boy, oh boy, I thought they were kind of using you as leverage to stay in MMA. You recognize that from the get-go?
Oh, of course,
yeah.
Of course. But at the same time, I went, and I was pleasantly surprised because I'll tell you the truth, and this is nothing because I think Dana White is a marketing genius. Nothing against most martial art, but most martial art fighters, the way they throw punches is ridiculous.
Yeah, they can't box.
They're 2 different sports for sure.
Yeah. This is why I got interested.
Yep. Yeah.
He can fight.
Well, the difference is he, unlike most of the guys, looks to use a boxing style in terms of volume. So he uses his jab, and he's always got his hands moving. And most of the guys are kind of one-punch guys.
Right. But I saw him in the ring boxing with gloves, and terrific.
Well, he works with Andre Ward, I don't think he gets destroyed. I don't think he wins.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean, he's not supposed to.
Yeah. How do you think he would have done? He was you were setting up potentially a Jeff Lacey fight.
I think good. I don't know what his chin is like, but he looks like a real tough guy. And I'll tell you, like you said about using us, if he did and he's going to make some money for himself, God bless him. But we've remained friends through the thing, and he still wants it. I mean, he loves boxing.
Jeff Lacey might be the right guy for him to take on. I'm not sure about Jeff's whiskers anymore either.
All right, Don. Hey, we appreciate it. We come back to the South Point. Come on down here. Dave, give the number again.
Yeah, 797-8055. Call now to get your tickets. Use a credit card there, or just go online, southpointeventcenter.com, and hopefully we'll see you tonight.